YouTube, what's going on, man? It's your boy King and Deuce, man. We here to talk some hoops. We got a lot of hoops to talk about. There's playoffs going on right now, some exciting playoffs. Regular season was one thing, but these playoffs, they have been absolutely amazing. Some specific series that we want to talk about, some new series beginning right now that's showing to be fire. We got a lot to talk about, Deuce.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I have a lot to get off my chest, bro. Just watching these playoffs, it's been fun. First of all, shout out to everybody who's here. Per usual, we appreciate y'all support. We appreciate y'all being here with us to talk about basketball, specifically NBA playoffs, because the Pistons are not in the playoffs right now. But we ain't gonna focus on that, right? Positive vibes only. So, yeah, there's a few things we want to get into, a few series we want to get into. King, man, what's on your mind, bro? Is there any series that's standing out to you? Is there anything that you're noticing that is surprising you? Is anything that you predicted, which we'll get into later, that you thought that actually came to fruition? Or what's up? Talk to me.
Well, one thing is that tweet that I put on Twitter the other day. Timberwolves, man. Timberwolves got the Timberwolves winning the series. And they're 2 games up right now. And that series has just been absolute fire. They absolutely dismantled the Nuggets, man, the other night. And like I said, they look like a familiar team. You guys see the title that we have up here at the top. Listen, man, defense, you know what I'm saying? Hunger. That's what we see with this team. Obviously, they got a leader, Anthony Edwards, but they also have Karl Anthony Towns, Nas Reed. They have all of these guys in a collective effort that's playing not only with each other, but for each other.
Right.
And it's causing a lot of success, man.
Right. So before we get into the playoff series, right, there's a few things that I kind of want to rehash with everybody who's here, with my man here, King.
Here we go.
It's a great day for me. It's a great day, man, on so many levels, so many reasons. We got playoff basketball. I won a couple bets. I'm about to get some hats and Detroit memorabilia. It's about to be a great day. So for anybody who was not here last week, right, there was a particular series, well, 2 particular series that King and I had difference of opinion on as far as how they would go. Right? The first series was the Lakers versus the Nuggets, right? And the second series was the Dallas Mavericks versus Clippers. Now, he said that the Lakers were going to get swept again. And I said they weren't. And then he said the Mavericks were going to lose to the Clippers. And I'll just stop there and let you guys kind of rewatch it just in case anybody forgot what happened there. So check this out.
Nuggets, Lakers, they've lost the last 8 games. If they lose game 1, they're losing in no more than 6, probably 5.
They won't win a game.
Wait. They won't win a game? The Lakers
get swept by the Nuggets.
So they're going to be 0-12 versus the Nuggets.
Yes.
You something crazy.
They not winning one.
Okay. We'll put a Pistons lid on this series. If they win the game, you owe me a lid.
All right.
If they don't, I get you whatever hat you want.
1 week later.
Final score, Lakers 119, Denver 108.
Clippers, Mavs.
The Clippers are going to win that
No,
series.
they're not. They might not
If
get
they win that series, I want my lid.
Okay. This dude just said that the Lakers aren't going to win one game against Denver again, and that the Clippers are going to beat that. Easy money.
They're going to beat the Mavs.
I'm about to go right now and pick out what hat I want. I'm about to
go on do your thing, bro, because they're going to win that series.
1 week later.
Mavericks in the second round.
Oh boy.
So you know what? Like I be trying to tell. I'm not going to gloat, right? But I be trying to tell King, bro,
Okay.
like, bro, we the same age, man. Like,
look, I give you that one series. I give you the Dallas series. I ain't giving you that Lakers series. They got, bro.
What you
that
mean?
was Denver, man. Denver got lethargic, man, and lazy, and let these fools creep and win one game. One game.
That's what I thought was going to happen. That's why I thought you was crazy for saying they was going to get swept.
They
you said it adamantly. You said it adamantly, bro. Like they're not going to win one game.
I wish the Lakers would have won so they could have went up against this Timberwolves team.
Oh no, we're gonna get to that too. Because trust me, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Because a lot of people were saying if they can play anybody else other than Denver, nah, we're gonna get to that though. But definitely, I just wanted to kind of let y'all know what's going on. So really quickly, he owes me 2. Well, he said 1, but
I bought one already.
Oh, you already got one. Okay, so these are the ones that I was looking at, y'all. There's 3 of them. This one, the classic Bad Boys, the black and white, or the red, white, and blue. This one I might have to go with, but I don't know. Y'all let me know which one y'all think. Bad Boys, Vintage Black and White, or red, white, and blue. Let me know what y'all think. Courtesy of King.
I bought you one, and this is the one I got. Hong Kong Tigers, goddammit. Meow. Hong Kong Tigers. That's what hats you get right there.
Oh man, F you, bro. I might think about you. See how I get treated? Y'all, this is how he do me. See what I'm saying? All right, so Dale said anyway. Dale said,
right. I'm gonna make sure you're right.
I know. All right, I already know you good for it. And like I said, we may make a few more bets too, so the odds may even back out. We'll see. But yeah, I'm filling out red, white, and blue too. All right, so enough playing around.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get to it, man. Let's talk about these Wolves and these Nuggets, bro. I have a lot to say about this. Hopefully you'll let me just kind of cook a little bit because I got a lot I really want to say about this.
Hey man, do your thing, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So, do y'all remember when everybody was saying that the Lakers, they should have lost to the Pelicans in the play-in to avoid Denver in the playoffs because they could beat anybody else? Can you remember that? When everybody was saying that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah. Like, listen, bro. LeBron is my GOAT, but there's no way in hell, there's no way in Sheol, there's no way in Hades, there's no whatever you want to call it. It ain't no way the Lakers would have beaten this Minnesota team. There's only one team who's constructed to beat Denver, and it's Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like, the Wolves have been slept on, bro, including myself. 75% of NBA fans have slept on the Wolves this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just a couple weeks ago, everybody, including me, including this guy, was talking about how in the West it's Denver and it's everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? Out West. I think the reason that I overlooked them was because, first of all, they lost in 5 to the Nuggets last year, right? But they didn't have Jaden McDaniels and they didn't have Naz Reid. Jaden McDaniels broke his hand hitting the wall, so he was out. And they didn't have Naz Reid. So 2 of their most important players didn't even play. We'll get to Naz Reid later. But the crazy thing, bro, this may be, in my opinion, the biggest upset since Mavs Warriors in 07. You remember that series, the We Believe Warriors, when they beat the number 1 ranked Mavs?
Yeah.
AC beat the 1 seed. This, to me, reminds me that follow. This is what I mean. I know Minnesota, they were like the 1 or 2 seed all year, right? But nobody picked them to do what they're doing to the Nuggets like this. I don't even think Wolves fans thought they would have done this to the Nuggets. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by like biggest upset, it's just the way that they're playing out. It's not like both teams are executing on both ends and the whole game is nit tuck and there's only 5 or 6 point lead on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Lakers Nuggets series was more competitive than this series so far. That's the crazy part.
Listen,
like,
man.
What are your thoughts so far on what you're seeing? Like,
huge. It's for me. You know, obviously, huge fan of Anthony Edwards, right? Yeah. Huge fan of the way that team is structured. Surprising, but not surprising. The reason why is because, like I said, they had a little opportunity of experience last year. Anthony Edwards, second half of the season, took it to another level. Those guys are playing at a different level. He holds his team accountable. The leadership is impeccable over there. But we know who the Denver Nuggets are now. You know what I'm saying? We have something to match your energy with Murray. You know what I'm saying? We have some bigs that's willing to go at the Joker, you know what I'm saying, which is not easy to do.
Yeah.
But on the other end, we also have other guys on the perimeter ready to play some defense, ready to knock down some shots. They are structured perfectly to go with this Nuggets team, man. But, you know, like I said, it's definitely an upset situation when you're going up against the champs and you got a young team like this. Right. It's like, you know, when the old Mavericks beat LeBron, you know what I'm saying, that was an upset. I'm trying to keep a straight face. I'm sorry.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
No, but it's, man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it, man, because I love what this team stands for. I love what Anthony Edwards stands for. Yeah. It reminds me of a Pistons style squad, man. And that's what I like the most, even with Denver, we said last year, Denver has a Pistons structured squad. Obviously, they literally got Pistons on that squad, right?
Yeah.
But this team, man, they so feisty on defense. Man, and like I said, the extra plays, doing the things that people don't want to do. Anthony Edwards is not just the leader on offense. This guy go up and slap your shot off the backboard.
Yeah.
Man.
He's insane, bro. Like everybody on their team is a willing defender. You got Nikhil Alexander Walker. I think that's Alexander Walker, who we've talked about. He's basically becoming a top-notch 3-and-D guy now. You got Naz Reid looking like prime Sam Perkins with defense out there, just looking crazy. Yeah, man, you could tell. The Wolves, they feel disrespected. And they come up for their respect. Speaking of which, guess who's an assistant coach on that Wolves team who's been lighting a fire under Cat to commit to playing defense? Any guesses?
Is it a light-skinned guy?
Yeah, it actually is.
What's his name? I forgot his name.
He was part of that 04 team. That's your clue.
What's his name? I have no idea, Deuce. Who is it?
Mr. Sixth Man of the Year, Corliss Williamson. Acting like you don't know that.
What a good kid, man. That guy is, like I said, I've been watching, man. My eyes stick, glued to that sideline whenever I'm watching basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, when you got some of that Pistons blood over there, obviously that's going to help a lot, especially in these situations going up against a Giant. Because if anybody took down the Giant, the Pistons did.
Facts.
In 04.
Facts. 100%. And that kind of takes us to our next point. Pistons so bro, I'm seeing a lot of parallels on this team between the Pistons team of 2004 specifically. Now, of course, the bad boys, they got started with that culture, but with the way that the refs are allowing them to play, to me, is reminiscent of that time frame of 2004, the early 2000s. The way they allow them, their physicality, they're allowing them to play. And so this Minnesota team, bro, man, it's tough for me because, like, how I feel about the Nuggets. I've been a fan of the Nuggets since the bubble. They've been my favorite team outside of the Lakers and of course our Pistons. So I watch them a lot. But watching them now, man, like Minnesota, it reminds me of watching in the early 2000s. We talked about the bad boys teams, but just more so, think about the Pistons Lakers series, right? When we beat them in the finals. We brought those gentlemen broomsticks out, right? The Lakers were an offensive juggernaut with a dominant big man, right? And one guard, 1-2 punch with Shaq and Kobe. But no one else on that team could get their own offense, right? They were all finishers or catch and shoot guys. Rick Fox, Derek Fisher, Karl Malone at the end, right? And so Shaq, he always required a double team. And Kobe would always feast off of that, right? Creating, attacking, create for others, or Shaq would just find an open guy. But it would always be a double team. But when they played the Pistons, Big Ben, Rasheed to a lesser extent, Eldon, Campbell, Mehmet Okur, they all guarded Shaq straight up. No double team, right? So when Shaq would kick the ball out, Kobe would have less space, right? Because the double team ain't there. So now Kobe has to try to create in his own with a late shot clock, guarded by Tayshaun Prince or Rip Hamilton, right? And when they need a breather, you got to deal with Lindsey Hunter and Mike James, the pit bulls, right? So don't that sound a lot like Jokic, dominant MVP, big man, being guarded straight up by Gobert, Cat, and Naz Reid? Outside of Jokic and Murray, like Shaq and Kobe, Denver don't have any shot creators other than those two. So with no double team coming to Jokic, no open shots for shooters, and limited space for Murray to do his thing, often with a late shot clock. But now being guarded by, instead of Tayshaun and Rick, now you got Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards. Right. And when they need a breather, you got Mike Conley and Nikhil Alexander Walker, pit wolves. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's a lot of parallels. Yeah.
And then you flip the boat over to the other side.
Okay.
Now you got guys that's coming at you too. You know what I'm saying? Offensively. And they making you work. They making Murray work. They making, the Joker work, man.
Right.
And it's wearing on them. It's wearing on them, man, because they wasn't expecting. Like I said, Karl Anthony Towns, had a couple of struggles against Jokic. like I said, Anthony Edwards been on him lately. Hey, man, he told him, hey, stop effing fouling. You know what I'm saying? Go out there, play some defense, sell out on defense, just like you sell out on offense. And, like if you watch the last game, man, it was Karl Anthony Towns that got that started. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that was putting in the work.
Right.
So, like I said, man, on any given night, it could be this guy, it could be that guy. You seen in the first game, Nas Reed had his moments, you know what I'm saying? So when you have a team like that, you're dangerous. You don't know where it's coming from. And that's a Piston style team. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope. It's so dope to watch, because they bring it back a brand of basketball that we miss.
And that's the thing, bro. It's like we don't just like the Pistons just because we live in the city where they play. We like the style of play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard not to like Minnesota because they embody that same style of play. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with the Pistons, I used to love, bro, when they used to match up with those offensive teams, like, in the 2000s, like the Lakers, the Mavs, the Suns, right? All those offensive juggernauts. But when they would play us, you probably remember watching these games.
Mm-hmm.
I would love seeing those teams get frustrated and just completely thrown out their rhythm, right? That well-oiled machine offensively just making low IQ plays, because the defense is suffocating them and they turn the ball over carelessly because of the pressure and they looking frustrated, they throwing their arms in the air. You would see them start barking at the refs. And when I saw that, whenever I see them barking at the refs and they get intense because they're not getting the whistle, that's when you probably say the same thing. This game's over.
Yeah, it's over with, man. Like they got you mentally, man. You crying to the refs. It's over with. That's a trademark Piston thing right there. When you start 100%. Seeing the other teams, like you seen the Bulls, man, back in the early 80s, 90s, crying to the ref, Mike crying to the ref. Hey, man, that, man, you beat. You know what I'm saying? You beat. And see with like I said, you look at the way that they play basketball. You got guys that'll give it to you on the paint. They going down there, they going at you in the paint. But, you got guys that stretch the floor, but you got guys that's working the mid-range. You got a guy that plays similar to that Kobe and Jordan style in the mid-range. Right. It's refreshing. It's basketball. It's the basketball that we were used to and what we were used to watching. And you see a lot of the younger crowds and younger fans right now, they're like, man, this team is this, that, and the third. This is what we're used to watching. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just a team chucking up a bunch of bad shots, bro. I'm tired of that. That era to me is exhausting. I love this style of basketball. Please keep it going, NBA. You're looking at these playoffs right now. A lot of young teams, man. A lot of very young teams. So hopefully we hitting the reset button. We can get this league back to actual basketball 100%. Instead of a bunch of knockoff Golden State teams.
Right, exactly. And with there being a transition and the passing of the baton, the changing of the guard, with a lot of the guys that we grew up with starting to exit all at the same time. That's why these West Finals or these West players are so fun to watch, because there's so many new teams with new faces that we haven't seen yet performing in the playoffs. It ain't the same usual suspects that we've seen what they're going to do. We don't know what these guys are going to do because a lot of these guys are the first rodeo.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? A lot of young upcoming stars, and we're looking to see what you going to do.
Yeah, you already said, man. You look at the Timberwolves. You look at Minnesota. You look at these teams, man. The way they structured. Yeah. You got it's a reset happening right now because you got a league where we so-called killed the big man, which was a farce for me. It was just everybody trying to copy Golden State. But now you look at the league and it's led by big men mostly. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of big names, big men being drafted. You know what I'm saying? You got the Joker, Wembanyama, and B. You got all these bigs, right? Yep. I love that. Yep. I love the 5 position. I love the true big man. It's nothing wrong with the big man, stepping out and knocking down some shots. But at the end of the day, I want to see positions play their position, bro. Right. I want to see bigs banging in the paint, going at each other, blocking shots and doing everything else. At the same time, I want to see guards attack the basket. Yeah. And that's what we're seeing with, you got Murray, you got Anthony Edwards. These dudes attack the basket just as much as they'll stretch the floor. That's fine. It's balance. I just love balanced basketball, and that's what we watching right now. 100%.
It's like, as far as the big man goes, I don't like big men to where all they can do is shoot. All you can do is shoot. To me, it's just a waste. But that's a whole other conversation. I want to get back to Denver for a moment, bro, because personally, before this series, I thought Denver was going to repeat, and I really didn't have a doubt in my mind. Honestly,
I thought it was Denver and nobody else.
Right. I thought Denver had the makings of being a dynasty. I thought they could have three-peated. I thought they could have won next year. You know, I don't think I've ever seen them this rattled before, bro. Like Coach Malone, like getting in the rough space, Murray throwing the heating pad on the floor, which is probably on his calf, right? Because his calf is, and I'm gonna get to that later too, because he's not 100% at all. But just the things they're doing. Gordon passing the ball through his legs out of bounds. That's not who they are. You know what I mean? And that has to go credit to the Wolves. You got to give credit to the Wolves, man. It's not a coincidence that this is the worst possible matchup for the Nuggets. The roster, bro, was built, and this is what we're going to get to too. Tim Connolly, bro. Tim Connolly, president of the Wolves, ex-president of the Nuggets. He became the Nuggets GM in 2013, right? And then he would go on to become the president in, I think it was 2017. So he's responsible in large part for a lot of what happened over there. You know, drafting Jokic, getting Murray. He even asked permission from Jokic. I looked it up. He asked Jokic for permission to go and get Aaron Gordon just because he wanted to see how he thought he would fit next to him. So he put that team together, bro. You know, so he left the Nuggets in 2022 to join the Timberwolves. I don't know why he left. I couldn't find out as to why he departed from the Nuggets right before they won the championship, but he must have realized that he had built a championship team over in Denver before he left. You know what I mean? So he must have knew exactly what it would take in order to put the Wolves in position to be able to compete with them. He literally built the Wolves to beat the Nuggets.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'm not there. I'm going to beat your team and take you down.
Yeah.
You know, I know what your strengths and weaknesses are because I built you, you know. Right. And like I said, if the Timberwolves can finish off this series, man, that's big time for this league because, you know, you got a guy that, you know, that the league is ready to advertise as the face of the NBA at any time. Anthony Edwards is slowly but surely becoming a flat out guy that's going to be the face of the league, period. And, you know, 100%. we had players that had an opportunity. They didn't take advantage of it, you know, did some pretty bad things. Yeah. But now you got a new shiny penny, man. And I think the NBA is going to take that advantage, man. And the Timberwolves are definitely going to be a team that's going to be put to the forefront with the new star. And like I said, it's just like a similar story that we've seen, you know, in the 80s, man. You know, when we was all kids and babies out here, Michael Jordan came into this league and took the league by storm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At a very young age. And that's what we're seeing with this young man. He's something different. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's dangerous at every part of the basketball court, literally every part of the basketball court. He's dangerous. Yeah. So it's like, man, it's refreshing. It's real refreshing.
I'm glad you mentioned him becoming the face of the league because I wanted to hit on that quickly too. And anything you guys want to hit on too, I'm watching the comments, so just throw it in there. We'll talk about it if we can. But when you talk about becoming the face of the league, who were they talking about being the face of the league as a guard a couple years ago, or maybe even last year?
Young Ja Morant, man.
Exactly. Anthony Edwards is taking the league from Ja Morant, bro. And if he wins a title this year, he's taking the league from everybody. Because it won't be LeBron, it'll be Anthony Edwards' league. Because it'll be the next MJ. It'll be a perfect narrative that the league needs to continue on for years. You know what I mean? And Victor, it may be him and Victor, it may be him and Jokic, but it's gonna be him and somebody. It's gonna be somebody in him. Yeah, he's gonna be in the picture if he's able to win a title this year. And if it's not this year, it may be as early as next year. So I can't wait to see what he does, because he plays on both sides, man. And he inspires his teammates to play on both sides. He got Cat playing defense.
It's crazy, man, because Deuce, I've been a fan of this team. It's in my blood.
Yeah.
It is in my blood, literally. That's me, 12 years old with a Timberwolves jersey with Kevin Garnett shoes on. It runs deep, you know what I'm saying? So the Timberwolves has always been my second home.
Oh, man, that's
always been my second home, man. So
throw it back up there again.
Nah, I ain't throwing it back up there. You got to rewind this stream and see that again.
I hope y'all saw that. Oh my God, that was hilarious. But young king right there.
Man, listen, you know what I'm saying? Big time Kevin Garnett fan back in the day with the Wolves. Him, you know, Starberry, man, and those dudes, man. Even when Chauncey was there, I playing video games, you playing with Wally Zerbiak, from the 3-point line, so all type of stuff. But obviously, number one is the Pistons, man. But the Timberwolves always held a place for me, and to see them successful again after all of these years, that's dope, man. Shout out to the Minnesota fans. I know y'all enjoying this like crazy right now. Y'all deserve something, man, and enjoy it.
Quick question. Is Ant-Man already better than Prime KG with the Timberwolves?
Hey, man, God, dog. If he wins.
Okay.
If he wins, yes, because KG didn't get a chance to win it with the Timberwolves.
Right.
They just never really built quite enough for him there to win. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he has to win first.
He got to the conference finals.
Yeah.
The same year that we won the title in 2004, because he lost to the Lakers in the conference finals. But yeah, okay. Just wanted to talk about that. But yeah, for sure. So yeah, just to finish up with the Denver Minnesota series, bro. I've never seen Denver look like this before. I just haven't. They usually have just their offense, just the way they run their offense. They usually have plenty of player movement, ball movement. You know what I mean, off the Jokic, Murray pick and roll, but the refs are letting them play, and so. Yeah, so the Nuggets, they two best players in their best action, which is their pick and roll, is negated, by the two bigs they have and those wings. And so, like I said earlier, bro, go ahead.
That's tough too, man, because once you get the respect as a team defensively from the refs, it's hard for the other squad, man, because once the Pistons got respect from the refs around the league as far as that defensive team that take charges and that, swipe balls loose and everything else, it got tough for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Less whistles blown against that team. Yeah. You're not getting as many cheap fouls that you usually would against them. It gets real tough.
Yeah, because honestly, what I've noticed over the years and decades, and you probably have too, refs they're supposed to be unbiased with their calls, but they seem to kind of side toward the team that's playing harder. Yeah. The team that wants it, because the refs already get grilled for being too involved in the game.
Right.
At the end of the game, we don't want to see at any point. We don't want to remember anything about the game that included the refs. If that happens, that means they're doing a good job, right? So they're already trying to hang back. So it's just like they're not just gonna insert them, especially in the playoffs, man. If they see that you're playing hard and you want it and you're fighting within reason, they're going to allow that contact.
Yeah.
They're going to allow it, especially in the playoffs when the game slows down. So yeah, Denver got to man up. They got to man up, man. Like they like I said earlier, they're the only two that can create for themselves. You know what I mean? So if you force them to have to move the ball, like without any help side defense, and those guys aren't open, like KCP's not open and MPJ's not open, and Aaron Gordon's left alone in the dunker spot, you know what I'm saying? Then those guys trying to create for themselves, they're going to turn the ball over because they used to catching the fire off of the help, off the double team. So when that's not there, now you got MPJ trying to put the ball on the floor and he get caught in the air and turn the ball up. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. And so that's what makes Minnesota so tough because they can play straight up.
Yeah. Like I said, you've seen a lot with Denver last game, man. They just like, what's happening? You've seen a lot of what's going on in those faces, man. So when a team is doing that to you, you kind of out of body yourself saying, what's happening to us, man? So it's going to get tough. It's only going to get tougher for them.
Right. So how many games does this series go, do you think?
Man, I'll say this. Timberwolves take care of business at their place next game. Denver will be lucky to win one.
Okay.
You go down 3-0 in this series. This ain't no magical series where you're gonna come back 3-0. You'll be lucky to win one. Because Anthony Edwards I don't think a lot of the fans keep up with the Timberwolves, obviously. Anthony Edwards in that press conference meant what he said. He wants to kill you on the court. If you give him an opportunity, he's going to take it. He's going to finish you. It is a wrap. That mentality that he has is rare. That is the Black Jesus, the Black Mamba mentality. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a nice guy on the court. I want to get rid of you.
Right. You saw what he did to KD.
Yeah.
So okay, so you think if Minnesota wins Game 3, it's gonna be a sweep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I have a little bit of a different take. So the role players have struggled at home, which is not a good sign for Denver, right? So with them going back to Minnesota, we already know role players play better at home. So with them not playing well at home and going on the road, it's not a good look. Like I'm with you on the fact Denver needs to get the next game. I think they'll get the next game. I think they should be happy. They should be happy if this series extends past 4, if they can extend it back home. But like it's tough, man, because Jamal Murray, he's hurt. I've been watching him for years, bro, since Kentucky. He don't look right. That calf is obviously bothering him, right? That heating pad that he tossed on the court, like I said, he's probably had it on his calf. So it's tough because he doesn't have that explosion. I can see it. His first step is not there. His jumper, the lift is not there. Go ahead.
And he's being put to work too. And it's not helping it. It's not helping it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? When you got somebody of that caliber in front of you, man, that's tough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to nurse something like that. And like I said, is the energy in that building is going to be absolutely outrageous.
100%.
In Minnesota. So it's going to be tough for them to pull out that next game.
It is, bro. And I remember on one play with Murray, he went to the basket and Naz Reid just erased his shot. You probably saw it. And he sent him to the floor. Great block. But it was easy for me to see, bro. He just, like prime Jamal Murray is just not available. He's just not. He's probably operating. I would say he's probably operating at about 65, 70%. He's just not the same. I'm looking at him like, wow, he's not able to move. I can see it. So I didn't want to acknowledge that, but would it have resulted in a different outcome? Probably not. Maybe they would have won game 1, maybe. But like I said, man, you got to give credit to the Wolves, bro. So with that said, if Murray's not 100%, they can't win the series. But I will say this. I think they're going to win one game. Okay, here's why I'll say this. When the Nuggets had the Lakers up 3-0, right? I told you that I thought the Lakers were going to win one game on what? Pride. I said they're going to get one on pride. They're not going to get swept twice in a row. They're going to get one on pride. And they got it. So I think on pride alone, the defending world champs, I think they get 1, maybe 2 games. I think they'll definitely get 1 the next game. I think they split Minnesota. They come back home down 3-1, and they win. Because I don't think they're going to lose another game at home.
It's going to be tough.
And then I think they go back to Minnesota down 3-2, and then Minnesota ends it at home in 6. That's what I'm going to say. It's going 6. Denver wins the next one. And then Minnesota wins game 4. Denver comes back home. They win game 5. Back on to Minnesota for game 6. They go, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna say that. So I think
I'm just gonna say it's gonna be tough. Yeah, I say you guys. Who's gonna stop Anthony Edwards? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and my thing with Murray is, healthy or not, Murray was in just a playoff series, and late in the season.
Right.
He's been kind of inconsistent in halves. You know what I'm saying? You have a bad first half, then a solid second half. With Anthony Edwards, you have to match that. You got from beginning to the end of the game, you got to match that energy. That's tough for him right now. And that's tough for those guards over there because, like I said, on the defensive end, man, the Timberwolves are not letting you do anything that you want to do. So it's gonna be a tough game in the environment of the Timberwolves arena, plus having to deal with Ant, and then having to deal with Karl Anthony Towns too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Plus you got all them other guys that's contributing. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
It is.
If they win one game, it'll be so similar to the Pistons in 2004. Because just like the Pistons said, y'all lucky y'all won that one game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's
So,
fact.
yeah.
Real quick, just how lucky they were. I'll give you the last minute of that game. Pistons were up 6.
Yeah.
Was it game 2? They were up 6 in game 2 in LA. Up 6 with a minute to go in the fourth quarter. They come down. Shaq gets the only and one conversion of the game on Ben Wallace, and he makes the free throw. We come down. Chauncey misses a runner off the glass. Derek Fisher tries to flop. They don't call it. Off the backboard, he misses it. They get the ball, and that's when Kobe came down and sent it to overtime. So they shouldn't have won that game at all. We were up 6 minutes ago. But yeah, to your point, I can see it being reminiscent of that. I think it may go 6, but if it goes 5, you'd be dead on with that as far as being lucky to get one. So a few more things I want to get to here as far as this, and then we'll move on to any other series. Because I saw a few people talking about what up, Devin? I saw people talking about the Knicks, I think, and I saw people talking about the Thunder. And we'll get to that too briefly. So a few more things on this, and we'll get to that. So let's talk about this guy for a minute, bro.
Yeah.
If you remember, just a few weeks ago, we were talking about Naz Reid and who we hoped on our team would resemble a game similar to him. Before we get there, I just want to talk about Naz Reid for a second. 6th man of the year, right?
Yeah.
He's been the most impressive player to me in the series. Maybe not the best player, but the most impressive player to me. He and Ant-Man have been the two Wolves who I've watched most this year off that team. And for me, when it comes to him, bro, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago, he is why I still have faith in Isaiah Stewart. Both of these guys are strong, tough-nosed guys who leave it all on the court. Naz Reid, he's in his 5th season, right? He's shooting 41% from 3. I talked about this last year. 41% from 3 this season. In his previous 4 seasons, he only shot 35% once. So does that mean that Stewart's going to shoot 41% next year? Probably not. But it does give me confidence that he can get there. But the Pistons got to give him a roster, right, in a system that's going to give him those open shots. K can be our Ant-Man. But how are those other guys going to fit? That's what Troy Weaver and whoever the president is going to be, they got to figure that out. But I want to say this to you, bro. I hope everybody who's part of the Pistons organization is watching Minnesota right now. Players and execs. Everybody. Because they embody everything that Pistons fans want to see from their team. Same style of play, same mindset that got us 3 rings. And Stu, keep getting them shots up, bro. 700 a day. I know you're getting them up. Prove me right, big dog, that you could become that guy. I got faith in you, dog. For real. I wanted to say that. So what are your thoughts on Naz Reid, though? What do you see?
Naz Reid, to me, obviously, a better shooter than Stu right now.
Yeah.
What separates them two, more importantly to me, is Naz Reid's athleticism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When he is going to attack that basket,
that's true.
You better move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And with Stu, you know what I'm saying? Stu is not the most athletic.
Right.
So he would have to, I want to see Stu develop. I wanted to see Stu develop that mid-range game. I feel like he really, really would prosper from a mid-range game because Stu is not a guy that's he's not going to out-athlete you down there on the box. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see him take another step and add another thing to his game on top of working on that three-point shot. When you look at the way our team is structured right now, even with Cade, Cade, obviously leader of the team. He don't even got to be our Ant-Man. You know what I'm saying? He can be who he is. He can be Cade.
Well, yeah, I mean, as far as
no, I'm talking about but Ivy though.
Okay.
I want to see Ivy, develop a different part of his game. You know what I'm saying? I want to see, hey, work on some mid-range shots. You know what I'm saying? Work on ways to work on those handles, you know what I'm saying? Free yourself up just by your dribble, you know what I'm saying? So you can get to the basket and use that athleticism a little bit better. That type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Those are the things I want to see them work on this summer and take that next step, you know what I'm saying? Because for this team that we have, it depends on who the veterans are that you bring in with these guys right now.
Right.
That's where everything is banked on, whether you sign somebody or you trade for somebody. That's the most important part, to put these pieces with these guys we got, So, man, it's going to be very important, who they bring in here as president, what they decide to do at GM, whatever they decide to do. They got to bring the right pieces in. You got the money, spend the damn money in the right spot. and bring the right players in here, because that's big time for us. The thing with this Timberwolves team is how they're built.
Right.
They're built with, a certain type of leadership on that team, man. And those guys, they follow each other. They're connected. They've been through some things together.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get to that point, so we're trying to get there. And, like I said, we need some camaraderie with this team, man. Like I said, we got a big step to take this year. We have a big step to take this year, man, because like I said, we're on a time limit. We're on a time.
Yeah.
So we got to make some steps forward. Yes, we got to make some steps.
Man. I totally agree. With that. I wanted to get to one more thing with that series before we move back to this. And do you think anybody in the East can beat Minnesota?
Hell no. I call it, once again, the Eastern Conference. The East is as bad as it was when LeBron was in the East. That's how bad it is. The least, when they was calling it the Eastern Conference, when you had the Toronto Raptors was the only thing that even tried to, untie a shoe. You know what I'm saying? The East is trash right now. And you got a couple of teams in this East that's getting ready to blow some things up. Obviously, not being successful this year. The Knicks are the Knicks. We're waiting to see what this team is fully going to be. Obviously, they've been doing their thing in the playoffs. We'll see, whatever.
Right.
But when it comes to East versus West, it's not even close right now to me. It's not even close. So the East is literally still up for grabs. So the Pistons are not as far behind as they seem to be. They need to make some steps so they can start making some headway and get themselves into that contention in the East.
I agree, 100%. As far as, do I think anybody in the East can beat the Wolves? Oh, hell no.
Nah.
Not at all. And here's why I think so, bro. The Celtics are the obvious favorite, right, to come out of the East, right? Celtics. I'll say the Celtics. I'd rather have, right now, today, I'd rather have Ant-Man over Jason Tatum. Today. And hear me out. It's not about talent. Some players, bro, just understand how to win when the lights are the brightest. Ant-Man just understands that. He has that killer instinct. I believe that, he and Tatum are equals from a skill standpoint. I don't want to get it twisted. I think Tatum is ridiculously talented as a player. But if you were to replace this version of Anthony Edwards with Jason Tatum in the 2022 finals against the Warriors, the Celtics don't lose.
Man.
They just don't. The Celtics were the more talented team. But Golden State's experience and killer mentality won that series for them when it was up for grabs. I think it was game 4. It was up for grabs. Along with Steph going crazy. But if that was Ant-Man, guess what? Ant-Man's taking on that challenge, and he's guarding Steph all game. So with that said, if the Celtics face the Wolves, I got the Wolves beating them. If the Wolves win this series, I got them beating the Thunder or the Mavericks in 6 or 7. But if they get to the finals, I got them beating the Celtics, probably in 6. Even though Ant-Man has never been there and Jason Tatum has.
I agree. Like I said, Jason Tatum the only thing he's just missing is the killer mentality. All the working out with Kobe and everything, you would think it would shed off on him, but it just didn't.
That's the crazy part, right? Yeah.
You see some of these players in this league, across the league, you're too nice of a guy, bro. Kill this guy on the court. He's not going to die for real. Just kill him. You know what I'm saying? Just go and give him a couple of shoves to the ribs, you know what I'm saying, with a shank. That's all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He'll be all right.
Let him
feel you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nice guys finish last, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, and, with this comment right here from Eric, listen, it's deeper than that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Whether you can bring whatever president you want to hear or whatever you decide to do at general manager. It's deeper than that. It's some other figures behind those doors that we truly need to get rid of, which I don't think is going to leave. So the only thing that cures all of that is to go out here and get some players who's going to match with these guys. That's going to start winning some basketball games. Winning helps everything.
Facts.
It helps everything. You know what I'm saying? But there's some names that's not been named that has a lot to do with a lot of this toxicity with this team.
Yep.
So don't think that that's just going to save the day. It's not. It's not, man. It's a lot more junk going on than y'all know. That's all.
Yeah. And eventually everything will come out.
Yeah.
When it's supposed to. And then it'll all make sense to everybody.
Yeah.
But just know that there's a lot, like you mentioned, a lot going on, that most people just aren't even aware of. So we'll just leave it at that for now.
Right.
But like you mentioned, bro, Ant-Man, he's that guy, man. So and the crazy part about Ant-Man, he's 22 years. Let me just show you guys something. This is who is dominating the league right now. 22-year-old Ant-Man. Can y'all imagine? Just jump ahead in your mind about 4 or 5 years to this version of Anthony Edwards. Bearded Ant. Right now we got babyface Ant. Imagine when he becomes bearded Ant. When he turns into an animal. Think about Ant-Man. For all my Ant-Man lovers, all my MCU lovers out there. Right now, what we're watching with him, with Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, is Ant-Man won the movie. When he just got his suit, he's pressing all kind of buttons, making himself small, pause, just doing crazy stuff. Don't know what he's doing. Still effective, but just a superhero that's just figuring out what his power is.
Hey.
Wait till he gets to battling with Kang, the Conqueror, and Ant-Man 2, when he starts to figure out what he's doing, what he's capable of. We're gonna see this guy right here turning into this guy.
And hopefully eventually turn into this guy.
That guy. 100%.
That curl
is have a little fun. Right, yeah. We're gonna have a little fun with y'all with that one. But yeah, man. Yeah, somebody said Arn Tell him. That's funny. Yeah. Somebody's paying attention. Ace Boogie, you paying attention?
There's some names going around.
Ace Boogie paying attention. Yeah. It's an interesting question. I don't know. I mean, if you want Donovan Mitchell, then that means you don't believe in Jaden Ivey at all.
Yeah.
That's really what that means. Or you don't think he can fit next to him. You don't think he can get close to his ceiling. And you're gonna pay him a lot more to be who we want Jaden Ivey to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I would do that. At least not yet. Not yet. Because you pay him what, $25 million more than you pay Ivy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather wait. And see what we can get from
I don't trust his body either.
Oh, D Mitchell?
I don't trust Donovan Mitchell's body right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't trust it. Okay. I don't know if, like I said, man, once you start piling on these injuries, these little injuries, it keep going. It don't get better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's true. And I feel he's too ball dominant to play. If we want Cade to be that guy, and I'm not saying Cade has to be the heliocentric point guard when he always has the ball, but I don't know if I want a guy that is that ball dominant when it comes to playing alongside Cade, unless you want Cade being the off guard. That's the only way I would see that working. But I think most of us would agree that that's not what would suit him best. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't think the Mitchell move would make sense to me. Just my thought.
Okay.
I don't know. It's tough. But yeah, so let's get to the other series real quick. So I'm gonna be honest, most of my attention is on Minnesota and Denver. I have been paying a little bit of attention. That was a great series, the Magic and the Cavs. I actually watched a little bit of that. That was a great series. That was a series where you got two young teams. And it's funny because I think every home game, every team won their home games. I don't think anybody won a road game, which makes sense for young teams, right? Good series. I had a feeling that the Cavs are going to pull it out because they have experience of being there from last year. And Orlando had basically no experience of being there. I think that was the difference in Game 7. Good series. Any thoughts, any series that you see that stand out that's other than the Minnesota-Denver series?
Other than, obviously, it's just OKC.
Yeah.
OKC and those are the teams that I'm really watching. And New York, since we just started this series, I'm watching.
Jalen Brunson is hooping, bro.
Yeah.
He continues to
flat out hoop.
Defy the. I don't even
What's
say
gonna
defy
happen
the odds.
What's gonna happen with Julius Randle?
He may be expendable because look at what they're doing without him.
I think he's definitely expendable. I think it was evident during the regular season that they played better without him because one thing that Julius Randle has been ever since AAU is ball dominant. Yeah. And you don't need that from that spot. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're better without him. I just don't want. I don't want to see his raggedy behind come over here.
Nah, that's the last. I don't. No. I don't want broke down. And it's crazy to even say this, but I don't want broke down Zion Williamson. And it's crazy to say broke down Zion because Zion. But that's
the reason why I'm saying it
always hurt. Go ahead.
You remember it was not too long ago that Randall was one of the names that people kept saying, "Oh, I wouldn't mind having him in the Pistons jersey," and I was like, "Hell no,
no."
That's why. That's why. Yeah. I seen guys like him. I seen Blake Griffin. Remember that dude?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Nah, bro, I'm good. Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Brunson, man. He's just getting it done. That's really all he's just getting it done, man. So shout out to him. I can see. Okay, J.I. is a 6 man. Okay, not mad at that. If he becomes that and embraces that, it depends on what happens this offseason. It depends on what we do in the offseason as far as who we can get. And that kind of leads me to this. My bad. I saw you with another one. Ivy to finish the Booker if they blowed up. I don't want to see Ivy go. I still feel like it's too soon to do that. It just depends. I mean, if you have to, if they were to make that move, I would be hurt, but I would understand why they did it.
Right. That's
I still think it's premature.
We don't want to see him go, but in that type of deal, it's like, okay, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Right. I understand what you're doing. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're trying to do. Right.
It's Devin Booker. You know what I'm saying? He's already at the point where we're hoping that he ascends to.
Right.
And with this situation right here, I don't know, because we don't have the players that are respectable enough to bring a Bobby Portis over here. I don't want him to come over here and turn to Blake Griffin too. Whenever players come to the Pistons, they play roles that they should not be playing. That's just all. If you can go back to anybody that comes here, they always playing some roles that they shouldn't be playing. You know what I'm saying? 100%. We had a guy that just left here in Boyan. That's was a 4th man with the Jazz. Came over here and he had the basketball in his hand all the time. I don't want that until we have enough guys that's respectable to tell Bobby, get your ass over there and shoot this 3. You know what I'm saying? Because Bobby will swing on you. We know Bobby Portis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
we
don't got that right now.
Back in Chicago.
Yeah, we ain't at that point yet.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad at the idea because Bobby's a winner. I feel Bobby's an underrated basketball player, man. He really is he's a good player, man. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
Worked hard on his game.
Works hard. Yeah, he's worked hard in his game over the years. He's got a lot more offensive bag than he usually shows. He'll surprise you. And he's tough. But like you said, I don't know if that's what we need right now. We do need vets though. We need I mean, to me, I'm kind of like, I'm not mad at it because it's like we can't be so picky. We can't be so picky to look for that perfect guy. We in the worst situation as far as we gotta look and see what we can do, and then just take what we can get, and then move and continue to, you know what I'm saying, grow that way. We keep looking for a perfect guy to come here. You gotta want that guy to come here too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He gotta want to come here too. So I'm not mad at Bobby Portis. You know what I'm saying? If he can come in and play a role, we would need more talent because, like you said, I don't want him to be like a Ben Gordon to where he's playing way out of his scope, expected to be a superstar, or a T-Mac when he's past his prime, or all these other guys, Chris Webber past his prime, and the list goes on. Guys past his prime, all those guys expected to be a star. I don't want that with Bobby Portis. He's not a star now. So
he's a role player.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. As long as he will be required to be a role player, do the same exact thing he does over there, and we have other guys who are doing the things that Giannis does for his team right now, and let him play his role, cool. Yeah. We don't have if we get those guys, cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right. That's what worries me because this current roster, who in the locker room gonna tell him something?
Right.
Nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't one of them.
Yeah.
And if none of the players do, your coach better. You know what I'm saying? Like if none of your players have won or been there, your coach better have won. Because if nobody in there has won, how you gonna be to tell them how to win?
And the jury's still out if our coach is gonna come next season to actually want to coach next season, unlike this past one.
Did you hear what Brian Windhorst reported?
What?
That he's hearing that it's a possibility, not out of the scope of imagination.
Oh, the trade.
That the Pistons and Lakers could trade coaches.
Trade coaches. I would love it. I would take Darvin Ham.
I don't know what everybody was upset about.
I would take Darvin Ham.
Know what everybody was upset about. Like I don't get it. Who do you want as a coach? Is my question. Like who do you want? Like
I want a coach that wants to coach.
I want a coach who wants to coach. Here's the problem, bro. And I was thinking about this the other day. When it comes to, for example, when you're drafting guys for your team, right? It's either two things you're looking at. It's either best player available or best fit, right? It's either best player available or best fit, depending on what you need. That best player available, best fit thing don't work with coaches. Like you can't pick the best coach available. You got to pick the best fit. Darvin Ham is a better fit for this team than Monty Williams is as a coach. Monty Williams may be a better overall coach, but Darvin Ham may be a better fit for this team. Because Darvin Ham, like, think about it, bro. I don't want a coach to come here who is a decorated coach. I kind of don't want a proven coach because a proven coach wouldn't want to come here.
It's dumb. It's just dumb.
You see what I'm saying? We just tried that with Monty Williams. We literally just tried that.
Yeah, exactly. We just talked about that a couple shows back where you had a hungry coach that was ready to coach his ass off with these young guys.
Right.
Kevin Ollie that was hired, but then fired at the same time. And then you bring a coach in here that told you with his mouth when you went to go meet him that he wasn't ready to coach. He did not want to coach. And you threw an unnecessary amount of money to go get this guy, and in a situation where you starting from scratch with this rebuild, you know what I'm saying, with these young players you got, you don't take a coach from his caliber and bring him to a team like that.
Thank you.
That's dumb.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Teams are 100%. Think about it. It has to match, bro. I don't want a coach that has accomplished all these things because if they come here, they come in here for the money. Because they have to have a standard for themselves. If I've been here, I don't want to go to a bad situation with a bad GM. No, the only reason the accomplished coach, a winning coach, would want to come here in that situation is the money. I want a coach that's going to come here to want, like you said, to want to coach. I want a coach who's underrated and overlooked, but that has a high ceiling. For real, that's what I'm looking for.
Mark Jackson.
Yeah, that kind of a guy. That's got a chip on his shoulder. Yeah. Not the best coach in the world, but a better fit for my team. Like, think about the coaches now, bro. You got Chris Finch with the Minnesota Timberwolves. He wasn't a household name before Minnesota. Look at the coach with the Thunder. He wasn't a household name before he got to OKC. Everybody ain't Pop. Everybody ain't Phil Jackson. Everybody ain't Spoelstra. Where was Spoelstra at before he became Spoelstra? Nobody. Film room guy. Go find you a guy that has a high ceiling that's overlooked. That matches your team.
It's unfortunate that we didn't get Udoka because he was number one on the list. He was literally, I'm telling y'all from information I know, he was the guy. That's who Troy Weaver wanted, was Udoka. And you see, Houston start to improve the second half of the season. They're starting to go in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? But once he was off the table, it was Kevin Ollie. You know what I'm saying? So we get a Monty Williams, and obviously it showed. You know what I'm saying? It showed what he was about and what he, it shows. So, like you said, a young, hungry coach with a young, hungry team that's going to go out there and coach the hell out of them boys, man, and get the best out of them. And like I said, if you feel like that coach can't get to the next level along with the team, that's when you go and hire someone of a higher caliber.
Thank you, bro. It has to happen in waves. It has to happen in waves. we have to understand we're not going to be contending for a couple of years. In order to do it right, we have to understand that. Like you said, find the Mark Jack. Like the young team we have now, I think they would embrace a coach like Darvin Ham, somebody who really cares about developing and winning. And he played on the championship team here. You know what I'm saying? I think they will be able to relate more to him because it's like, I'm in the trenches with y'all. Oh, they kind of y'all out too? Oh, okay. They blame y'all too? Oh, yeah, me too. Let's go prove them wrong together. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Even with this comment right here, I appreciate you, Josh Forbes, man, and everybody that's commenting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Listen, man, with this situation, I was saying at the time when he was up, I wasn't worried about the baggage. You notice we haven't heard anything else about baggage, right? You haven't heard anything else about Udoka. All of that died, what I'm saying, immediately. So I'm like, man, that's why, I want Udoka here. You know what I'm saying? I know that thing is, I'm never going to be the one to sit here and blame a man for, doing what he did. You will never get that out of me.
Look, as long as they're two consenting partners, I'm 100% with you.
Right.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. So you never get that out of me. But like I said, once he moved on to Houston, man, you didn't hear none of that crap no more. You know what I'm saying? That man coaching his team in peace right now, and they're heading on the trajectory up. Right. That's what I wanted. That's all I wanted, bro. Right. Tom Gore's another direction.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that Darvin Ham thing, bro. Or it don't even have to be Darvin Ham. It just has to be a coach that matches what our team kind of like embodies or feels. The trajectories have to match, man. I can't have a coach trying to pull a team up from no. I want them to move together, grow together. And then as the team gets better, the coach will develop. Then he'll develop those accolades and he'll develop that respect. The way the OKC's coaches of the world, you know what I'm saying? And all these different coaches who are now coming into their own, it's got to happen organically for us here in Detroit. It just has to.
Yeah, man. Like I said, anytime you can have a young coach, like just one more thing on Udoka, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Talk about
all the respect in the world, if my coach can go and tell LeBron, shut up crying like a bitch. I love that. Yeah. It wouldn't be a show if I did. But
it just happened. Udoka just butthurt because LeBron used to always pick on him when they played against each other. Go look at the footage.
He was old, whatever. But anyway, on some real stuff, when your coaches, when you got that mentality is contagious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I like what I see over there. You had some down seasons from some of their young guys over there, and you've seen them improve. You know what I'm saying? You've seen some improvement. And that's what I wanted to see with this team. I wanted to see these guys, number one, play together, but number two, start to show more and more an improvement. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, with the coaching staff we have right now, man, I'm not pleased at all.
Yeah. 3 championship drive. What's good, Lance? We were just talking about this. Jaden McDaniels is a new age Tayshaun Prince. We were just talking about this.
Yep.
That's I know that, and I talked about it earlier as far as Jamal Murray not being 100%. But I also don't want to put too much emphasis on that. Because if you do, you take away from Jaden McDaniels' defense, and you take away from Anthony Edwards' defense, and you take away from Nickeil Alexander-Walker's defense, and you take away from Mike Conley's defense. They have so many guys, bro. Like, they have so many guys. So, like, man, I don't want to take away from them by saying that Jamal Murray's hurt, even though he is. If he was 100%, he wouldn't have shot 3 for 18 last night for 8 points, but he wouldn't have had 35 either.
Yeah.
Because those guys they're not going to let you. They're not going to let you. They're going to have somebody who's fresh at all times. Basically just hawking you all game.
And for a lot of you guys that, follow on the regular, you call me old man because I'm always preaching defense. Defense wins championships, you know what I'm saying? And if they were to get past the Denver Nuggets and win a championship, it would definitely prove that point because they have multiple defenders on this team. And when Denver won, they had defenders on that team, you know what I'm saying? So definitely Pistons blood, remember? Bruce Brown was on that team, you know what I'm saying? So defense, man, it's still possible to play defense in this league. And we watching it, you know what I'm saying, in this series, man. And that's also another thing that's refreshing. So, like I said, hopefully, hopefully these boys can hold it together and pull it out and prove us right, because we truly do believe they got that a legit opportunity to take this all the way to the finals and win. So we'll see.
For the record, I still want Denver to win. That's still my team, but I respect the hell out of Minnesota. I can't be a Pistons fan and not respect what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just can't.
That's why I like both. That's why I like both squads, man, because just the way they built, you know what I'm saying, alone, I just respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Because even Mike Malone, I know they have a superstar in MVP in Nikola Jokic, but even Mike Malone, man, he's Detroit blood too. You know what I mean? Brendan Malone, his father was an assistant coach for the Pistons back in the day. That's why Isaiah went and choked. You know what I mean? Took his anger out and choked when he was bleeding, because they always tell the guys, don't attack the player, always come attack us. Take it out on us. Yep. Mike Malone, Denver Nuggets coach, his father was the one that Isaiah went and choked, took his anger out on. I think Robert Parrish elbowed him and made him bleed. So Mike Malone he got that Pistons mentality as well. So I love both of these teams. But it's kind of hard for me to watch them because I wish they could both move on. But speaking of moving on, Dallas OKC, who do you have in that series?
Man, that's tough. Young, hungry OKC team.
Yeah.
It's God dog. I'm gonna go with Dallas.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Dallas. Just based off of the veterans that they do have. They do have some young players too over there. I think they're in a good spot right now. I'm gonna go with Dallas in that series. Even though I like what OKC's doing, I'm definitely gonna be watching what happens in the post over there in OKC in this next matchup. You know what I'm saying? I always talk about, when you look at guys like him and Wembanyama and their frame in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs is where I want to see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So obviously, they got a hell of a player over there, but it's the playoffs. We got Kyrie, we got Luka, we got some blood over there that's ready to go. Yep. I'm gonna go with the Mavs, man.
Okay, you got the Mavs.
Yeah.
So this irritates me because I hate agreeing with you on stuff. But I thought about it for a while too. But I'm also going to go with the Mavs. I feel like they have been tested more so far, and I don't even mean just Luka and Kyrie in their experience. I'm just talking about as a team this postseason. I'm looking at who they played in the playoffs. You look at who Dallas had to get past, right? I know Kawhi was hurt, but they beat pretty good, Clippers team on many accounts by many people. And then I look at the Thunder. I know they swept the Pelicans, but they didn't have their best player.
Yeah,
Zion didn't even play. So I don't really know how, and that's not a shot at the Pelicans, but Zion didn't play, bro. So they're not really tested to me. I give them credit for sweeping. That's what they were supposed to do. But I still feel like the difference is going to be that backcourt, right? It's great. It's going to be fun to watch too. Watching Shea and Jalen Williams go up against Kyrie and Luka, that's going to be fun.
Man.
That's going to be box office.
You can't get more battle tested than Kyrie Irving.
You cannot. You cannot. He's 13. Did you know he was 13-0 in closeout games?
Yeah, because he did a lot of LeBron.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? That's right. Ooh, he didn't give LeBron credit. He must be in a different dimension. With my sleeping.
That's a knock against LeBron because he couldn't do it himself.
Oh no! Who got the MVP when they won? We ain't doing that tonight. See how he just take a shot, some way, shape, or form. He just got to do it. Man. Okay, but yeah, I definitely have the Mavs. I have the Mavs in 6.
Mavs
in 6. Yeah, I think the experience.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and that irritates my soul. But I got the Mavs in 6 for sure. It's gonna be fun to watch because we haven't seen these two teams, and like we've seen with other teams, we haven't seen these two teams really go at it. Yeah. We don't really know what to expect, and that's what makes it fun.
It's gonna be interesting.
It is. So we'll see. Yeah, OKC is too young to know they shouldn't win. Those boys play hard. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I just feel at some point when you get deep into the playoffs, having guys who have been there and won, and having those guys be your star players is important. And I'm looking at the coaching too. I'm looking at Jason Kidd. He's won. He's won.
Brilliant.
He's a great coach, man. He's a perfect
brilliant.
coach for perfect coach for Luka and Kyrie, in my opinion, because he was, in my opinion, a perfect point guard. So yeah, and he's won as a player. He's a champion as a player. So him and Kyrie's experience alone, it makes it hard for me to pick against them when you're talking about going against OKC, who really doesn't have anybody who's been there.
True.
That's kind of my thing. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that's all I got, bro. Anything else that you want to cover? We got through a lot.
I think we definitely got through a lot, man. Let's save a little bit more for next show.
Yeah.
Continue to watch these teams. Knicks Wolves, that would be interesting.
Knicks
Brunson against that man. It'd be a lot of buckets.
The Wolves would beat them, bro.
Yeah, the Wolves would beat
the Wolves would beat the Knicks in 6.
He would abuse. Oh my God.
Knicks in 6, bro.
It'll be fadeaways all day.
Knicks would get beat in 6. I'm saying Wolves in 6. Knicks would get beat in 6. It's the same. To me, it's like, here's why I think the Knicks would lose. To me, Denver's better than the Knicks, right? To me, Jamal Murray and Brunson kind of cancel each other out. Who is New York's Jokic?
Especially against that, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Who's their Jokic? Who's their other guy?
And you look at the bigs with the Wolves, that's a problem. Cat will go off.
Not even that. Look at the wings. I'm saying Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
You could throw whoever you want at him. You know, look at what it's doing to Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
With Jokic. You got Brunson with no other superstar. New York getting popped, bro.
The Cinderella story will end.
Yes, it would. They go down swinging for sure because that's what they are. But they would lose. They lose probably maybe in 5.
Now, good for the Knicks because they're auditioning for players to come there.
Facts.
So what they're doing right now, players are going to. They already want to go to New York. Who don't want to go play Madison Square Garden and be in the Big Apple? You know what I'm saying? You know, it's the Big Apple. It's New York. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Timberland boots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dipset. No, not Dipset. That's a little too old for y'all. I'm sorry. But it's New York. But right, the recruiting process is started, man, with what they're doing right now. So
Julius Randle probably already has his backpack. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think the writing is on the wall for him that he's not gonna be here past this season.
Yeah, they got to get him out of there.
They got to get him out. But you're right.
The fans hate it, bro. When you got fans outside the stadium throwing stuff at your picture, bro, you got to go.
Right.
You got to go, bro.
Yeah. They won't get past Boston. Now Boston probably. I think somebody said they spanking them right now. I think Boston's spanking them right now. Right now. So yeah, I think so. Real quick predictions on these series, real quick. New York versus Indiana. I have the Knicks in 6. What say you? KK. Did we freeze? I think we lost him. So I'll just give y'all my picks till he gets back. I have the Knicks beating the Pacers in 6. I just think they're a better team. And I think the defense, like we talked about with the Wolves, will win over. Knicks in 6. I think Hallie's gonna get off though. I think Hallie's is gonna have a great series. Let me check and see what happened to King. Let's keep it moving. And then obviously we got the Minnesota Timberwolves beating the Nuggets. Unfortunately, I have to say it's tough for me, man. But I have them beating them with 6 at this point. I think they're gonna win 2 games. The Nuggets are on pride. I don't think they're gonna get swept. But I do have Minnesota just looks like the favorite to me. It just looks like it's their time right now, which is scary because Ant-Man is only 22 years old. It kind of reminds me of D Wade. When D Wade came into the league, second or third year. Third year, because the first year he beat the Hornets in the first round and lost in the second round. Second year, he lost to us in the conference finals in Game 7. And the third year, they beat us to win the championship. Yeah, so I see Anthony Edwards on this kind of trajectory that D Wade had it, but minus LeBron James being in the Western Conference with him. And minus the injuries. I think if D-Wade wouldn't have got hurt, he could have been possibly a top 10 player if he hadn't gotten hurt because he won so young. But yeah, I see Ant-Man with that kind of trajectory. So I had Minnesota winning that series. Let's see what's going on with this right here. Boston is the Cowboys. Yeah, Joe, I just don't trust Boston. I just don't trust them. I feel like I know they've been another young. They're both 24, 25. Just signed max deal. Shout out to them, right? But they've been there with different. They've been in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs, with different renditions of their team, right? First, they had the Isaiah Thomas rendition. You know, the young Isaiah Thomas. They had him as the leader. Then they had Kyrie there. Then they had Jason Tatum as the guy when Marcus Smart as the I've seen so many opportunities for them to win it, and they just have not. They've given me no confidence that once they get there, they can take advantage. And I thought that when they got to the finals and lost, that's really what nailed it for me. That I don't think Jason Tatum's ever going to win a championship as the guy. I think he may win one eventually as the Anthony Davis type of guy, right? As the Karl Anthony Towns type of guy. I see Jason Tatum winning a championship as the Jaylen Brown type of guy, the second guy.
You don't get to go away that easy.
Oh, man, I was hoping you was gone. I was about to go in and talk about that. No, we talk about Boston, about why I just don't trust them. I was just saying, like we've seen so many different renditions of that team.
What more do you need to see with Boston?
That's what I'm saying. Like we saw them when Isaiah Thomas was the guy. We saw them when Kyrie Irving was the guy. We saw them when Jason Tatum was the guy. Like, and they've gotten there, and they just could never get over the hump. And so when they lost to the Warriors, that's when I told myself, Jason Tatum is never going to win a ring, in my opinion, as the guy. He may win a ring eventually as the Anthony Davis, as the Karl Anthony Towns. You know what I'm saying? He may win a championship as the Jaylen Brown type of guy, the number 2. But I don't see him winning a championship as until something change, until I see a change in him mentally. I just don't have confidence he's ever going to win a chip as the guy. I just don't see it.
Dak Prescott.
I don't want to call him Dak because I feel like Dak ain't even all-star type of quarterback.
I'm just talking about the choking, man.
You mean the choker? I'm not mad at that.
That man be choking. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, bro, it's like I said, it's just frustrating with Boston in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah,
like, we've been here too many times. It proved me wrong at this point. I'm not jumping on your side no more. Right. Prove me wrong.
Honestly, I felt like that before Porzingis got hurt.
Man.
But now that he is hurt, nah, bro. I'm out.
Of course he's hurt.
Right. Right. I'm out on Boston.
This man.
I just don't see it. Now, Team Savant. That would be crazy. Now that, like I said, now Tatum as the 2 with Ant-Man, chips all day long.
Man.
Because now Tatum can just hoop.
Yeah.
He can just hoop now. He can do a KD. He can just hoop. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to deal with nothing else. Let Ant-Man be the guy that gets all the spotlight and the attention and the criticism and all that. Just go hoop, JT. Just go hoop. In that situation, that's a great Team Savant. That's a great example of what I think will need to happen for JT to get a ring. And I don't dislike JT. I've just seen him let me down too many times in the playoffs to have any confidence that he's gonna get it done. That's that guy.
Right.
So
yeah.
Totally. We can leave it at that. I didn't mean to go off on the Jason Tatum tangent. You're probably gonna think I hate Jason Tatum. No, I don't. That's my guy. I mess with him. I just don't trust him. That's all. So yeah, shout out to y'all. We're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna probably try to catch a little bit of this game before it goes off. But we will be back next week per usual to kind of tap back in. Oh, you want to wager any more bets? Are you good this week, bro? How you
the only bet I got is the one that I mentioned was the Wolves.
You reneged on that bet.
No, I'm talking about I offered you on Twitter. I'm sticking with that.
What you offered me?
On Twitter, the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves versus what?
To win the whole series. Before they even won game 2, I tweeted it on Twitter.
Oh, man, you sent me a text talking about you weren't serious.
Nah, man, listen. Hey, I'm dead serious. And I'm okay. Sweep or not?
Okay, we can do that for one hat, not two. I still want to get one.
All right.
I want one. And not that Shanghai Sharks mess you sent earlier. For real, for real. I don't want a hat for where Tobias Harris might go if he don't come here. So let's do this.
Hey, Joe, ain't nobody asked you.
What Joe say? No. Oh hell no!
Hell no, man. Nah, bro.
No, thank you. He's doing this right now. I'm sorry.
No,
He's on the
it ain't
decline.
even just that. It's Paul George here. He still thinks he's a superstar for some reason, bro. Like, say he over there turning down extensions and stuff. Like, nah, bro. You still think you that guy. We don't need that over here because you ain't that guy like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, keep
That's
your
a great point.
keep that energy, bro. Yeah.
Right.
Keep your energy over there, bro.
You're right. That's true.
Come over here thinking you the man.
If he was OKC PG, all right, you can talk, or Indiana, but yeah, not now. You're right. Good call. So back to your bet. Who was the wager?
Timberwolves sweep.
Oh no, they ain't sweeping. I bet that for sure.
I mean, what or
no. What's up?
Okay, so what about Denver? No more than one game. Denver.
Bro, y'all see how he doing this right now?
No, look. I mean, because that's. I mean, I don't even believe they're gonna sweep Denver.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think Denver got a chance to at least win one game. That's why I compared them to the Pistons.
Okay.
I think they'll be able to say, "Well, you barely won one game." I think they're gonna have a chance to win one game.
You know what? I'm feeling generous tonight. I'm feeling. You know what? I may throw you a bone. Pause. I may take that bet. Yeah. So you're saying that so the bet basically is 5 games or less, you win the bet. 6 games or more, I win the bet.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take that bet because I picked him about a half hour ago to go 6.
Yeah.
So that may be a losing bet, but I'm just kind of going off pride, the same way I did with the Lakers.
I think the Timberwolves smell blood, man, and they about to hornswoggle Denver, bro. So
no, I mean you could be right because I thought Denver was going to respond last game.
Yeah.
I didn't think, you know what I'm saying? Like to lose worse the second time. That was what had me like, whoa, wait a minute. Usually like the first game you come out and get popped because you was relaxed if you're Denver.
Yeah.
The first game is when they just blindside you, but when you get beat and then they come back and they do it again even worse, it's like all right, yeah, you gotta
you got a mentality too on that team. Like we want all the smoke, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
You may win that bet. You may get that one because you're right, they smell blood. But I'm gonna give Denver 2 games.
All right.
And we'll go with that. So we'll see what happens next week.
All right.
All right, y'all. So appreciate y'all for showing up and showing out per usual. And per usual, we'll tap back in with y'all throughout the week. Probably follow us on Twitter if you aren't already. Oh, one more thing. Shout out to my dog, Cannon Cunningham, Kate's brother. His birthday's today.
Yeah.
So I want to give him a quick little shout out. You know, he be behind the scenes, but he's always got something going on. So shout out to you, bro. We'll tap in with them soon.
Yes, sir.
And Ken, anything else you wanna say, bro?
No, that's it, man. Everybody have a blessed night. You know, be safe. Enjoy these playoffs. Hopefully next year we are sniffing them.
Yeah. All right. Be cheerful, everybody. Peace.